I I don't have the beat the game in 8 hours achievement. That's probably never gonna happen. But yeah, I've done things. I've done things, and then you can't get Steam achievements when you're playing a modded game either, which is little sad, little sad. So I could do times two speed. It's just I don't like doing times two speed. Not on a streamed playthrough anyway. This is supposed to be like not cheaty, ideally. It's supposed to show off the experience as it is, as it exists. Now, if I ever do like a pi block or a C block style of game, yes, that by necessity will need to be times two minimum. Um, you could beat the game within 8 hours just fine. That achievement is not actually truly hard. It's just a test of your knowledge of the game mechanics, really. Um, and you have to play with biters, which is, but you can. There's ways of cheesing. There's ways of cheesing that achievement as well. I mean, if you really want Steam achievements, you can make edits to the game's base, quote unquote base mod, and it doesn't invalidate achievements. So you can do things like give yourself literally any item in the game at the start of the game by putting it in the code for one of the starting items. By changing the item, the code that gives you items at the start of the game, you can just put whatever items you want there in the base mod, quote unquote, the base mod, and it will give you whatever you set it to be, up to what fits in your inventory, granted. Uh, so you can't like give yourself enough of the items to launch a rocket because your inventory isn't big enough for that at the start of the game. But you can come quite close. It's like you can just give yourself a rocket silo at the start of the game if you really wanted a rocket silo at the start of the game, but you can't get all the things to then launch. One infinity chest, yeah, that. So you can give yourself an infinity chest at the start of the game, and then boom, done. Achievement earned. Beat the game within 8 hours. Okay, going up. Uh, let's not have the one space gap. I might regret that, but we're doing it anyway. Yeah, more like 30 to 50 minutes. I mean, with an infinity chest, you can give yourself beacons and modules. So, there's that. Iron in. Where do I want this chest to exist? Probably there. And then just by virtue of that working out like that, this will be my small parts. Small parts! I have officially automated small parts production. Which means I can now automate anything that takes iron, copper, and small parts. Literally anything that's just iron, copper, and small parts. So I could do things like make chests. I can do things like, oh, I don't know. I could make boilers and steam. I could make steam engines. right now. If I put stones onto the line as is, which is easy enough, I can definitely do the boilers, and I can do glorious things. Glorious things. Now automate belts and pipe. Yeah, belts and pipe. That's the necessary next step is belts and pipe. Well, pipe technically already have. Technically have pipe. I can do that to help increase the rates. But more importantly, I probably just want to put this over there anyway to have even more with time. Let's go do that. Let's go do that. Start up the glorious automation. The glorious automation. Now, the way that I usually do have this set up, actually, is I have these on each side. Ta-da! And then, oh, the glorious small parts. Yes, hundreds of small parts already. And then this line is steel. Just remembering that this line will be steel. I don't know why I just spent all those belts when I know that I'm going to need belts for what is just coming here. I always... I have to think about spacing. Belt. Yeah, because this is also transport belts. But it's also circuits, so I don't have to worry about that quite yet. I don't have to worry about that. Not here anyway. This'll be fine. Hey, this'll be those, eventually those. I will, however, offset that by 1 so that I can do this type of thing with the belt boxes. Which I don't even have. Oh, I do. I do have. Right there. Yeah, belt boxes. Yay, compactors. And they'll output and do all the glorious things. That'll probably be the circuits. You also need iron. You need iron, small parts. And iron, okay, yeah, these need iron. You need iron and small parts, oh boy. Oh boy, this will be... a mixed belt, iron, small parts, iron... Iron and circuits? Oh, and you need small parts, oh boy. Okay, a line of iron and small parts that gets split this way and this way. Or that circles around. And then this will be circuits. I think that that's how that is going to work. Hello, tech. Oh, joy. Crushers. Yeah, crushers, might be next. Actually, I was just thinking about something. What was I just thinking about? Could have sworn I was thinking about something rather important. things like burners. Thing is, burners, tanks, warehouses, this is all going to require lead and titanium. Logistic trash slots might be good. Long reach might be good. Did I get... Oh, yeah, biotech for augs. Yeah, that'd be great. Ta-da! Huh, ta-da, for the exception that I now don't have outputs. It's like, okay, there's the inputs. What about the outputs? Where's the outputs? Okay, outputs for those will be that. That'll be that. I remembered those outputs, but I didn't remember these. Okay, stuff. It's happening. We're automated. Our belts are automated now. Huzzah and all that good stuff. Oh, and right on time too. So that is the halfway mark. That is the halfway mark for today's stream. It is time to take a brief break. What have we got done thus far? Well, thus far, I have transitioned the copper. I have added copper production, basically, and added iron production in the form of hot air processing using advanced foundries. The next step is actually more iron, technically. The next step is more iron and steel. Iron into steel. That will basically be the fate of some of like this line of copper that's currently feeding our base up here for science, which it's already iron starved. But yeah, that'll be part of it. We need more iron. And then it's just more of this, just with tin and glass. And I guess I can send the aluminium down as well, even though the consumption of aluminium is like non-existent currently. That will need to happen. Yeah, it's just we're growing, and then I can think about getting all of the science stuff moved to the bus. So all of this needs to get moved onto the main bus at some point soon, and I need the wood automation too. So this is all going to be working towards true full red science automation before we begin really moving on. All right. So with that, it is time for a approximately 3-4-ish minute break. And I have returned. Welcome back. Okay, so as I had said just before the break, now is the time to start really scaling things up. If you thought we were scaling before, oh boy, now is the time for quite a bit more than that. Now I'm just looking at how much of this patch is currently covered. I probably should have I could have just brought this up, but I wish it was at least 1 or 2 tiles higher. That would have helped a bit, but I can work around this. So, effectively, I think there's, at the very minimum, another 2. Yeah, there's another 2 here, definitely. I think 3? I don't know, I could probably squeeze another set of 30 in on top of that, which would be very convenient. 5 yellow belts is a very key value, because 5 yellow belts is 1 belt of stacked product. I am using Deadlock's, whatever it's called, belt boxes and compact loaders is the name of that mod. Which, by the way, as long as you change the compatible version number, it will work just fine with version 18 of Factorio. You just have to make sure that you change the Factorio version of that. It at the very least, it doesn't throw an error, which is saying something. Okay, so what would be the purpose of having 5 yellow belts of ore? Like, everything needs a purpose, right? Well, part of this purpose is that I am going to be continuing to expand my advanced foundries going forward, and I need steel. Now, trying to convert some of this existing iron into steel, well, you can see that I'm a little bit limited by this new automation that I've set up. Now, eventually, when enough time passes, the chests will get full, but we want to make sure that this process happens as quickly as it possibly can. We're going to be using a lot of belt, and we're going to be using a lot of pipe as well. Lots of belt, lots of pipe. So we're going to, by necessity, just need a lot of resources to feed the beast, as it were. We need to feed the beast. Also, this needs to be limited to, like, that much. And this will not work. That will not work. This will work if I had enough iron going in. I will take all those, though. Everything that you've made thus far. So yeah, iron, we need more. We need lots more. And eventually, it'll be a steel limitation. And once it's a steel limitation, we need to really start making more steel. We have options on how we want to do this. I can either like set up something like this for steel down in here, or just in the alternative, I can have steel on the bus. And I usually have a space where I do steel on the bus initially. So that is what I will do. Now, I'm still thinking, do I really want to do all 5 ore belts this early? Not really. I'd sort of like to try to get some other automation in first before doing that. What do I really need on the red science here? This does not require tin. The red science factory setup here. This will not require tin. This will require glass. 2.4 or 2.5 per second on the glass for a what's basically a single building throughput on the red science. I suppose what I could just arbitrarily define. Model is updated. Okay. Huh? Refresh. I don't know what that means. Anyway, this is at 2.5. Yeah, at 2.5, it's going to be... Oh, what did you just do? It added another production block. It's going to be 1.4 copper, iron, stone, wood, coal, and glass. The coal is absolutely required to do the stoppers, so I could start doing this transition just as soon as I get glass. So I guess that's what I will also work on. First things first, though, more iron. It will be this in reverse. And I will add a fresh belt, I think. So I will need some of these mining drills. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That'll give me 30. You sure you have enough hot air? Yes. I am very sure. I am very sure I have enough hot air. 50 and 25, that is 75. This thing makes over 200. Or, what is it? It's 200, even. After this, it'll be 75. And then there's enough to also add glass to it. Yeah, there are certain processes that will consume a lot more hot air. The ore hot air smelting does not consume a lot. What consumes a lot, actually, is, I think the processed iron. The processed iron consumes a lot of hot air. Do I even have that recipe? I don't. I don't even have that recipe. But, yeah, I think it's... processed iron. This is 50 hot air per cycle versus... No, that's still 50. There was something. I'm blanking on it. There's one of them at least has a lot higher consumption of hot air, but yeah, the basic stuff doesn't. The basics don't. Actually, I can look and see. Yeah, it doesn't look like the basics use too much. Oh, hey, that's a 15-second craft time for both of those nickels. Why one would ever do that? I have no idea. Oh, lead is actually a 10-second craft time, so that would consume them a lot, but ratio ore to plates also comes into this. Our ratio air to ore per second is really what you should be looking at, but yeah, the hot air is fine. Whole point, hot air fine. We have sufficient on hot air for now. Need both copper and iron to make more. Copper and iron are required. You're already starting to build up. Good. Good. Glad to see sufficient amounts of copper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, one more. One more. There we go. That should be 7 handcrafting. 7, yes. That'll finish this. In the meantime, I should also have 30, exactly, mining drills. So let's head on up here. Now this needs to be a little bit different because this next set is going to have this gap. Do I have time to look up the ore chains, if anything changed? I'm pretty sure nothing about the the ore chains have changed. Like, I'm pretty certain that absolutely nothing about the ore chains have changed with alien life. That they weren't really touched. That's 14, so I need another 16. Pretty certain that nothing about the ores have changed. If anything, there would be like additional ways to get some of the product, the blue science level stuff. There might be additional ways to get some of the blue science level stuff. But you need the outside inputs. But I don't know. What about Xylanol? That's one example. Are there alternative ways now of getting Xylanol? No, that's the same. But there are ways of more ways of getting some of this other stuff that makes the Xylanol. That's of note. But yeah, the actual chains I don't think have changed to any degree. That's 30, right? Yep. Well, Immortal, that changed a while ago. The high grade split for lead and silver happened quite a while ago, actually. Been a couple months at least. At least a couple months. I need this exact thing right here. It happened before you finished your base. Let's put it that way. The change happened before you finished your base. It was among the stuff that happened in that time that you weren't updating things for your base, Immortal. Okay, this is a brand new line. Yes, I know I'm missing things. We need to craft things. Hurry it up, handcrafting. That's a tech I need to take. That's a tech I need to take. Yes, you know, the where is it? Yeah, you. This thing. This thing important. Very important. That'll be next. I'm out of coffee. I'm sad. Mm. Well, it changed. The lead silver thing for high grade changed because I made the point that previously it gave both lead and silver. I made the point that you can't really control the lead or silver production as well as you can with the lead dust phase, because if you back up on one thing, you've backed up on both. So you have to like set the overflows to void. Basically, if you were doing high grade lead processing, you would always get lead and silver high grade. So if you ever backed up on either one of them, you would have to void the excess to keep the process moving. So that's inherently why it got split into being able to choose high grade lead or silver in terms of how it actually functionally changed the demand for lead or silver, or the demand for the ore to get the same amounts of lead and silver as was prior. I haven't actually done that testing. Either way, I think that I will get silver through particle acceleration. That's probably what I end up doing. Now I need to worry about power. Now is when I need to worry about power. Okay, we've this is officially the time to start expanding power. I don't care about being salt heavy on anything. Yeah, it's gonna consume a lot of salt for lots of things. Lots of things are going to consume a lot of salt. You know, on this particular map, I see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 per second right here, sitting right here. I'm seeing at least 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 per second, probably more, sitting right here of salt. I'm seeing lots of phosphates as well, but yeah, and oh look, it's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 80 per second there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70 there. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 80 there. Yes, power is just space. That's I know. That much I do know. Power is just space. Hey, we've got more iron. More of the iron. We've now got just shy of 6 per second. Just under 6. In fact, it's under 5.7. I think it's 5.5 flat. Somewhere along those lines. 5.6 repeating, maybe? Old pie, you need like 600 per second of salt for 1 science per second. With alien life, no idea, but probably more. Yeah, it's probably safe to assume more. Safe always to assume more. Oh hey, it's copper that I need now. Copper. Okay, glass. Oh, and now it's steel, by the way. Getting to that point where it's steel that's needed. Probably at that time, yeah, we need to work on that. We need to work on glass. We need to work on steel. We need all of the things. All of the things. I can break that. Goodbye. Give me my steel that I've had for a long time. And then, do I just stop with the steel? Make the tech go faster? Yeah, I'm gonna stop with steel, make the tech go faster now. I will do the steel separately. Probably with these 2 boundaries that I just am making. There we go. Get that done. Oop. Power cut. There we go. Excellent. Nice little buffer of stuff there in case I ever need it. Good. That is facing the absolute wrong direction. There you go. Okay. Glass. And steel. And iron. And all the glorious things. And then just transitioning the science onto the bus. And getting more of the wood. Actually, something I could technically do if I did aluminium now, which I could do. I could do aluminium now. Should I? I'm thinking about the engine units. automating the engine units next. Like, once, of course, I set up the 20 boilers and then a whole bunch of steam engines. Like, oh, okay, hey, let's take these. It's always good to have lots of pipe on hand for steam engines. Yes, lots of steam engines. Ooh, hello. Yeah, grab that. Grab that buffer.